Yahya Sinwar is dead. He was killed in Rafah by the brave soldiers of the Israel Defense Forces. While this is not the end of the war in Gaza, it's the beginning of the end. To the people of Gaza, I have a simple message. This war can end tomorrow. It can end if Hamas lays down its arms and returns our hostages. But to those who would harm our hostages, I have another message. Israel will hunt you down and bring you to justice.
Retired four-star General Jack Keane joins me now. General, sounds to me like Netanyahu is calling on Hamas to surrender. Is Israel winning this war?
Oh, there's no doubt about that. I mean, they are dismantling the two most powerful proxies that work for the Iranians, Hamas and also Hezbollah. And Iran has conducted two massive missile and drone strikes on Israel, and they've both been inconsequential. There is no doubt that Israel has a momentum in this war. And certainly they have decapitated all of the Hezbollah leadership and all the top leadership of Hamas, to include its political leadership. Yeah, so there's no doubt that they have the momentum, and you can sense it in terms of what Netanyahu is doing, is offering Hamas to surrender.
Yeah,
I don't think that's likely. I think they're going to stay in the fight, Stuart.
But we're still urging restraint. We're still urging peace talks, ceasefire. We still seem to be restraining Israel. Do you think why should Israel stop now?
Yeah, well, I think the thing that they will do is killing Sinwar, who's the major impediment to getting the hostages released. He would never do it unless Israel withdrew completely from Gaza and there was a permanent end to the war. And Netanyahu was obviously not going to do that. So it remains to be seen here, that based on who takes his place. If his brother takes his place, he's going to act pretty much like Sinwar did. No deal on the hostages. But if one of the political leaders in Qatar, who oversees Hamas, takes his place, it may be an opening to get the hostages out of there. But that doesn't mean the war is ending, which the administration wants. They want to stop the war, which they have wanted for months. And Netanyahu is not about to do that. He wants the hostages out. He'll cut a deal to get them out for sure. But he's not going to end the war, because there's Hamas fighters in there, a few thousand, and also he's trying to provide security for the people in northern Israel so they can return to their homes by pushing back on Hezbollah. Both of those objectives he's in pursuit of, and he's not going to stop till he achieves them.
American B-2 stealth bombers conducted airstrikes on Houthi targets in Yemen. They attacked their underground weapons bunkers. General, was that a demonstration of what could be done to Iran's nuclear bunkers?
I think they probably drew that conclusion, for sure. They're very well aware that we have the capability to do that, but actually seeing it in live, so to speak, does make a difference. And by the way, this is the first major decisive attack that we've made against the Houthis. Most of all the other attacks have been against launch systems and the rest of it. And the CENTCOM commander, Stuart, so you and our audience know, he's recommended over 100 targets inside of Iran to take down, based on the Houthis have been firing ballistic missiles at U.S. Navy warships. They haven't been shot at since World War II. And the fact there's been 300 attacks on U.S. bases in Syria and Iraq, and no response to Iran. And that's what he has recommended. That has all been rejected. But nonetheless, this was a decisive attack. We don't know what the battle damage assessment is. We can assume it's likely pretty significant. But yes, you're absolutely right. Message to the Iranians, here is the capability that can take down your nuclear enterprise.
Extraordinary situation. General Jack Keane, we're very happy to have you on board telling us how things happen and how things work. We appreciate that. General, we'll see you again soon. Thank you.